Way.
Oh, my name is TheKingsPride. You can just call me Pride. Apparently, this fast pace is for me. First and last time we're going to make that joke, I promise. Anyway, to get right into it, this is Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. I'm going to load up here. So Armored Core 6, before I get ahead of myself, I am joined by a commentator today. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi. No, I'm kidding. Hi, I'm Funkin' Spice. I've played this game. I've also done this run, but not as fast as Pride. So.
But it still makes you a speedrunner. So, you may be asking yourself, hey, Gandalf the Plaid, what the heck is Arena Rush? That's not a speedrun category. You're correct. So, this is a mech combat game. You can see our very big, very cool mech here. This is my personal build. And I learned the speedrun for this game, and I was like, you know what? I kind of really love the arena. And there's no speedrun for the arena. So I tried it out, and I was like, well, just kind of doing all the fights the same way over and over again. Because you have 29 different fights. Just doing them all the same way over and over again with the same build kind of sucks. So we're going to throw out my perfectly, meticulously crafted endgame build, and we are going to do a little fun stuff. So stick with me. It's a little bit of a meal of a concept. We are going to start with Loader 4. That is the default AC in this game. Anytime I say AC, it just means our big robot. And we are going to challenge our first competitor in the arena, Invincible Rummy. Invincible Rummy pilots the AC Mad Stomp. And then, whenever Mad Stomp is defeated, we're going to take that AC, we're going to take it in, fight Index Dunham with it, so on and so forth. It should make sense as we get into it. But, so we can getting into it, the best way to begin is at the beginning. So, if everybody is ready, commentator, are you ready?
Yeah.
Host, are you ready?
Sure am.
I am certainly ready. So we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1, begin the run. So, like I said, this is a mech combat game, and the arena is all about mech versus mech combat. So we have 4 weapons on 4 weapon slots. Most of these builds are going to use most of those. So we have our left arm, our right arm. I think that I said those backwards. Right shoulder and then left shoulder. Don't worry about it. I'm not dyslexic. So with our general combat here, I'm dirtling a little bit just to explain, but you can see we have our targeting ring that is going to hover over our enemy so that we can consistently hit them, because we don't need to aim because we're awesome. And you can see over his health bar there's a yellow bar that is building. That is our enemy's ACS meter. That is stands for a thing that I don't know. I don't think they ever say what it means. But basically, whenever it goes red, about here-ish, there we go, ACS load limit, that means that our enemy is going to take a huge amount of damage, especially from melee weapons, for instance, our sword there, and it's going to allow us to do massive damage. So basically, the general strategy going through this whole thing is that we are going to build that ACS bar, make them hit load limit, and then punish them with some form of follow-up. Certain weapons are better at dealing damage in ACS strain, just kind of how the game goes. But as we go, I'm going to explain some of these builds. So, Loader 4, pretty default. Mad Stomp. I love Mad Stomp. Invincible Rummy. You meet him in the story, and your companion goes out of her way to say, this guy sucks. He is terrible. He is ranked dead last in the arena, and his build just about matches. So we have, in the story of the game, it doesn't really matter. It's Dune. It's Dune. That's pretty much it. But there are several factions. Rummy is part of the Dozers, RAD as they are also known, and they have a lot of heavy weapons that have some more unconventional stuff. So he has this tiny little shotgun that we are going to basically have to barrel stuff our enemy with, as I run out of energy immediately, because Mad Stomp sucks. And he also has this big old chainsaw. Now the big old chainsaw, we can charge it up. It's very cool. Where did you go? Big old chainsaw, very cool. We can charge it up, and then we can hit our enemy for big old damage. Usually they just kind of walk away if you try to do that, but I guess Dunham's feeling very nice for us now. The fun fact, the chainsaw also has a minor shielding effect whenever you hold it out like this. That's pretty slow. So I mentioned earlier that I ran out of energy. So below my ACS bar, down at the bottom, you can see this white bar that will slowly go down as I dodge and I do my assault boost, this like charge move, and the kick. The kick is amazing, as long as I can land it. But we want to monitor that energy so that it doesn't go all the way down. If it goes all the way down, it's like losing your stamina in a Souls game. Basically, you just are stuck for a little while, and you can only like do your normal movement until it recharges. But that is done. So we are going to be moving on to Red, I believe? G6 Red? I swear I know this game. Yeah, we're going to G6 Red, so we're going to change... No, we don't want to go to Assembly, we want to go to AC Data, and we're going to pick up Burn Pickaxe. Burn Pickaxe is a AC from another faction of the game. It is the R8, or the Rubicon Liberation Front, the RLF. They are a partisan fighting force. Basically, they are flat broke, and their ACs are going to reflect that. So they are very industrial themed. They look more like bulldozing equipment than they do weapons, and their weapons are going to kind of match that. So we have, it's fine, kind of okay weapons, but not really great ones. So basically our goal here, we have our vertical missile launchers on our right shoulder, and we have a little burst machine gun on our right hand, and we're going to try to build up ACS strain as we go, being very careful of that bazooka that Red has on his left arm. And we have a grenade launcher of our own on the right arm, so whenever we build up that ACS strain, we're going to capitalize with the grenade launcher, and it does a decent amount of damage. The Little Gem grenade launcher, as it's known, it's fine. It doesn't do a ton, but it is fairly light, and a lot of the RLF builds kind of focus on weight more than anything because they just don't have a lot. In the meantime, though, I'm going to just continue doing that, so this is a great time for a couple of donations if you have any.
Sure thing. I like to remind folks, if you do want to donate, you can donate towards two things at the same time. In addition to supporting Gates, which is why we're all here, you can also put your donations towards the Resident Evil 2 poll for which category you want, Leon A or Claire A, which is happening right after this run. You can also, at the same time, put it towards this current Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, the little Zai mematch that'll happen between Pride and Pumpkin, if you get that met. So, folks, I think you want to get that met. So, we need another $260 to meet that incentive. So, if you want to meet it, go to the donate, donate, go to the donate page, and check it out.
We can get there by the end of this run, no problem. Folks, it's going to be pretty great. We'll get to Zai later, but her AC is bad. It is garbage. So if you want to see your runner and your commentator dueling with possibly the worst build in this game, probably the worst build in this game, please donate. It's going to be a great time, and you're supporting a great cause. In the meantime, though, this is G6 Red. So any G6 is pretty significant. This is a member of the Red Guns, which is Balaam, another one of our factions. This is one of the corporations that are plundering Rubicon. And Balaam uses a lot of rockets and a lot of physical munitions. So we're going to see that. We have our missile launchers on our shoulders, and we have the Ducket pistol on our right hand. The pistol, by the way, I'm so sad. This Red is the only pre-built build that uses it, and it's one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's genuinely just really good. But he also has that bazooka on the left hand that can follow up pretty well. So this is going to be pretty simple. We're fighting against Nozak. Nozak is a independent mercenary. We're going to find a couple of these builds from independents. They're kind of just a mixed bag. They're kind of going to be a lot of Masters of None, Jack of all trades. Kind of emphasis on Masters of None. But one of the funniest parts about this run is that usually we'll get like a really good build, and then immediately we'll fight somebody who's using trash. And then we have to use that trash to fight somebody with a pretty good build. So, for instance, I wouldn't say that Nozak's build is absolute trash. Bitter Promise is pretty well balanced. The problem is that it does not match up well against our next fight, Maeterlinck. If you play this game casually, Materlink tends to be a big wall for people in the arena. She moves very quickly. She can kind of outspeed you if you're not prepared for it. If you have a lot of slow weapons, she can dodge them. And you can see on her right shoulder, she has a plasma gun, where if you can't dodge it very well, it will deal buckets of damage. So we are going to be avoiding that at all costs. As we just... So she's charging it up, so a lot of... It did a little bit of damage there. A lot of weapons in this game can charge. We are going to be using the charge feature on not very many of them. Some, like our guns on our hands right now, they can charge up and they shoot a burst attack. The problem with that is that you are stuck still in place when you're using most burst attacks. And imagine it, believe it or not, being stuck in the same place, very great for survivability. So there are different builds that you can use. We've seen only ACs with 2 legs, the normal legs. There are also reverse jointed legs, which give you good jumps and actually buff your kick a little bit. There are quadruped legs, which can float in the air and can absorb some limited amounts of recoil. And then we have tank legs, which are the most fun kind of feast or famine legs, where you can get all the heavy weapons you want. You can take all of the recoil from them, but you are kind of stuck to the ground. So there's a lot of give and take. The build variety in this game is genuinely so much fun, which is why I love this. I just hit a button that I don't know what it did. It's why I absolutely love this category. It's really, like, I made it up because I just wanted to have some fun. And it's been a ton of fun. Like, it's great. If you ever want to do something with speed gaming and you're like, but I don't know, nobody else is doing it. Like, it's not going to be on a leaderboard. Heck the leaderboard. It's just, we're just gonna have fun, right? Speedrunning should be fun. This is, speaking of fun, this is UAU. She sucks. This is little Zai. This, if you meet that incentive, this is what we will be dueling later. We'll get into in the next fight why she's so bad. But in the meantime, if our host has any messages for us, now is a fantastic time, because I'm just gonna be bullying a child.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm happy to talk over that while you go bully a child. Excellent. We had a couple raids earlier, so welcome on in, raiders. I'm so glad you tuned into this channel. And I think we might also have some viewers from Speedrun.com. Hello to all of you folks there at SRC as well. I encourage all of you to hop on over to twitch.tv/fastpaced-event if you want to catch the rest of this marathon. We'll be live all day here, as well as tomorrow doing some fast-paced event for supporting Gates, Global Action for Trans Equity. So thank you so much for tuning in. Exclamation point donate if you're interested in donating to this very, very fantastic cause. And maybe, like Pride said, we'll get to see that little Zai death match between the two of them at the end of this. So we'll see. But this depends on you, chat.
Absolutely. So we bullied Zai, and now we have to use Zai. It's gonna be. This is gonna be rough.
Excuse me. We have to use UAU. You corrected
Sorry. Yes,
me.
we have to use UAU. Thank you for the correction. Actually, the Zai is the name of the pilot. UAU is the name of the machine. But we're gonna be fighting Swinburne. Swinburne sucks. This guy's build sucks. Unfortunately, it's really good at bullying children, which is like kind of his whole deal. So I'm gonna just assault boost straight at him. And the fun fact about Zai is that, so these iridiums, these grenade launchers we have, remember what I said earlier about being stuck in place is really bad for your health? Yeah, imagine if we were stuck in place with the slowest projectile on God's green earth. So, yeah, he can just kind of dodge everything. This thing sucks. It's so bad. I can, like, kind of manipulate him to, like, try and dodge out of the way and then shoot him, but he can then just dodge again. You know what? These things suck so bad, I'm getting rid of them. We do it with our hands!
Can't possibly be serious.
I am so serious. Fun fact, the hand's actually kind of good. So you can stun block enemies whenever you hit them into ACS strain. A thing that we can't really take huge advantage of. Now, this is the tough part. A thing that we can't take massive advantage of with most of these pre-builds is that you can do what is called stagger extends in this game, where if you hit somebody with a strong attack, like a shotgun or a melee weapon, then you can actually extend the amount of time that they are staggered for in ACS strain. The speedrun uses it quite a bit, fun fact, on bosses. He stopped! His AI stopped! Let's go! Sometimes Swinburne will just sit there, and it's so great. I've been practicing that all morning. Fun fact. I hope that looked kind of effortless and very easy. That is extremely hard to do. So we'll talk about Swinburne's build a little bit. So his build, it sucks. It's bad. Actually, Pumpkin, would you like to talk about Swinburne's build a little bit?
Oh god, if there's anybody in the game I'd love to talk about, it's just Swinburne.
Swinburne.
So, I don't think he has a bad build. He has a... how to put it? He had a closet full of weapons and he threw them on his AC, kind of. That said,
yeah,
his melee, when it works, actually is quite nice. The thing is, the tracking on it is something to be desired. But you do have the earshot, which is, I believe, the strongest shoulder-mounted grenade launcher.
it is, yeah, among the strongest, yeah.
Yeah. And at the very least, you are fighting what is not necessarily a very quick AC. Tetrapods are typically not necessarily on the slow side, but they are like a happy medium between like being slow and being fast. They're mainly intended to like tank the recoil of the weapon or float in the air, basically. They're not really fast or slow. And you just happen to be going against the best Tetrapod in the game.
The best Tetrapod.
Which, I mean, you make pretty short work of, and then you just throw all his weapons back in the closet.
Throw them all back in the closet. Hey, we're raising money for Gate. They would love if everybody could be out of the closet, but we're gonna throw our weapons right back in the closet. Was that a good prince? I don't even know. I'm sorry if that was bad. Anyway.
Okay.
So, Wu Wahai. Pumpkin and I were discussing before this run some of these builds, and I believe that on your notes, Pumpkin, Wu Wahai, the note was, "Why is this a tetrapod?"
It was, quote, "Brother, why does Wu even have a tetrapod, man?"
Yeah. He really doesn't need it. So, Wu has no weapons that have, like, recoil on them, like any significant amount of recoil. And also, he would benefit from being a little quicker. And he doesn't really have a great, like, kiting build for, like, most of the time, whenever you are a floating AC, like with the tetrapod build, as you can see right here. I'm just kind of demonstrating a little bit. You want to have a build where you can deal damage reliably at very long distances, so that especially the ACs that love to close in and deal a lot of damage can't really get to you. Wu doesn't really have that. He has 2 missile launchers and a pretty good pistol, as well as this shield. So like, there's no point in him having a tetrapod. Though we're fighting Ring Freddy now. So, as you may have seen a little bit, Freddy did a little shield move. I can do that too, but on some of them they're an explosion. So these are expansion slots, which we're going to see a lot more. You can see my bottom left there, I have a 2 that is blinking red. So your expansion slots, there are 4 of them. I only remember the names of some of them, so we're going to call them the Explosion, which deals a very close range explosion that can stagger ACs, does a good bit of damage. You also have the shield, where you can pop a shield, it gets rid of all of your stagger. The computer cheats with it all the time. Just genuinely all the time. I believe that it reads when it would be staggered and then goes, but what if that didn't happen? There's also terminal armor, which gives you a shield right as you're about to die. It sticks you at 1%, gives you a shield for a good 5 seconds. Basically, you get to be the main character for a little bit. And then there is the dome. only like 2 ACs in this game use the dome, and the dome's not terribly good. So we might see it later, but it just basically gives you a bit of mobile cover. But this is Ring Freddy. So Freddy is our first tank legs AC. Fun fact, these are actually pretty unusual tank legs. They, if you look at it, look kind of like a wheelchair, which is on purpose. In the story, it's like, oh, these were developed by war veterans who felt more natural whenever they had a... There's that shield. Whenever they had an AC that more reflected their physical body in a wheelchair. It's very neat, and also it's very fast, but it can absorb the recoil of these. They're called songbirds? Question mark.
These are the songbirds, yes.
Songbirds. Thank you. Also, I got demolished. So first death of the run.
This is a very strong sword to be going up against.
Yeah. So we are fighting. This isn't Pater. This is the other guy. What's his name?
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Thank you very much. I'm concentrating. Kind of.
As he should be. You're the runner.
Locked in.
Locked in. I wasn't really locked in there. That's why I died.
Oh.
Pumpkin, if you want to talk about Hawkins a little bit while I do lock in. Rubicon needs you to lock in.
I got you. So yeah, I mean, as you've probably already seen, Hawkins has a very dangerous sword. That particular one has a charge attack to it with a really wide sweeping attack. So being close to Hawkins at all is in itself dangerous. Like, it's still necessary. You have to do it. You have to take that risk, but that is genuinely the biggest threat from him. But the upside of it is that when he does do his wide sweeping attack, it has a pretty long time where it's on cooldown, and you don't really have to worry about him quite as much. And outside of that, like, you know, he's got his plasma. Plasma's kind of a beam, and it does a little like AoE explosion when it hits, and that will kind of tick down if you stay in that spot. But Pride is using a pretty fast AC, so yeah, dodge that swing there. That's good. It's like an actual like big opening. No, like, I'm not being patronizing. Like, that's
no,
actually...
I actually felt really good about that one. that was a pretty nice one actually.
Yeah. It is genuinely the most dangerous part of his kit. It's actually a sword I use a lot when playing the game because it is just a very good one. And yeah.
Boom. All right. Yeah, like Hunkin was saying, the laser sword, the huge sweep, is pretty dangerous. It covers a huge ground. The problem is that it doesn't have very good vertical tracking. So I managed to dodge it vertically with tank legs, which is not easy to do. So that was... I'm actually pretty proud of that dodge. But we are going to take Hawkins' build, and I actually don't remember what Hawkins' AC. It's reconfig. Okay, dude. We're going to take Hawkins, and we are going to fight Iguazu! Hey! It's everybody's favorite hater. So, Iguazu, another member of the Balaam Red Guns. He is kind of our Lancer throughout most of the game. He is the dark mirror of our character. He was pressed into service, doesn't really want to be here, and he sucks. He's actually not that bad of a pilot. He holds himself back very often in the story. So we're going to try to hold him back by killing him. Was that good? Was that good?
I mean, yeah, that does tend to be a setback.
Yeah. So Iguazu's build makes me a little mad because it's so close to being a very good build, and he just really does not follow up with actually being good with it. He has a shield on his left hand, on his left shoulder. The problem is that most of his damage comes from his left shoulder weapon. So unless he's clowning on us like he's trying to do right now, he really doesn't have a great outlet for damage. He has a linear rifle on the right hand, which are like, they're fine weapons, but it's like you could do better with like a pistol. Why did I not hold that button long enough? Oh my gosh, and he hasn't even like staggered us. He's just trying to get us down just with raw damage, which is an accomplishment if you can do it. Let's swing him. This should knock him. There we are.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, his AI is very good at staying away from you. He's very retreat heavy.
He's very slippery. So, speaking of the AI in this game is fascinating because sometimes it'll just lay down and die, and sometimes it decides to bring it, and you can do nothing about it. But we are going to be piloting Iguazu against a very interesting build, which is going to be Rokumonsen's Shinobi. Fun fact about Rokumonsen. You probably will not encounter him in casual gameplay on your first playthrough. But if you do meet him, you'll notice that he only speaks in haiku. His name is a reference to a Japanese myth. He speaks in haiku. His AC is called Shinobi. This man is not Japanese. He is canonically just a weeaboo. Like, he just fell in love with Japanese culture on this planet that isn't Japan. This guy's kind of silly, so I love him. But I'm going to be kind of focusing up because, like I said, Iguazu's build is kind of suboptimal for my playstyle. So while we're doing that, if we have any messages, host, this would be a fantastic time to get on that.
I think we do have a few messages. I have $25 from Anonymous who says, "Don't blow up again, lol. Love, Mom." So,
thanks, Mom.
There you go. Excellent. Thank you. And that went towards the little Zai mirror match that's coming up at the end of this run. We only have a little over 30 minutes to meet that. If you want to meet it, now is the time to donate. It's time to lock in like Pride is doing. It's time to lock in chat. Let's get in those donations for Gates, and to see this incentive met, make sure to check that incentive box when you're on the donation page. And thank you all so much for your donations thus far. I know we can do it, chat. Let's get it.
I believe it would be a very fun time, so I would love if we could meet that. But I managed to lock in. I managed to zero down Shinobi. Thanks for the advice to not blow up again. So we're going to take Shinobi, and this fight is also going to be a little tough. So Shinobi has a very interesting build. He actually uses a lot of weapons from New Game Plus Plus. From the AI All Mind. No spoilers, but All Mind kind of gives weapons to people that she really likes. So there's some interesting lore implications that he uses All Mind. Anyway, so we have our melee weapon is, I affectionately call it the yo-yo. We have a pretty normal assault rifle and also a shotgun for the first time. And shotgun is going to deal a good amount of burst damage, as one might imagine, and a good amount of stagger. And then we have a javelin launcher on our right shoulder that basically is going to make a chain of explosions. It also misses a lot. And this is Cannon Head. Cannon Head is the first actual tank AC that we're going to see. And boy, does he play the part. He has a lot of very dangerous weapons on him. That Shinobi is a very lightweight AC, so the shotgun makes me, it wants you to like lock in and get close, but the problem is that close is where all of Cannon Head's weapons are really good. So I am going to focus up here. I'm going to hit him with the yo-yo. I missed the yo-yo? What?
Not the yo-yo.
This is great. Punky, if you want to talk for a bit, I gotta focus.
Yeah, I got you. So yeah, I mean, Pride missing with the yo-yo, to be very clear, is not a skill issue. This is a weapon that is difficult to use. It is a strange melee weapon. I mean, you're literally throwing a floating disc with plasma at people. It hurts quite a lot if you actually land it, but getting used to like the trajectory of it and the like hitbox is just, it is a bit rough, and you are a little guy against a tank.
He had like 30 health left. I'm so mad.
Me too.
Keep talking. I'm gonna lock in for this one.
But yeah, Volta can take a lot of punishment. He's using the tank legs, which, as we established early on, they are heavy and they contribute a lot to your AP, which is, you know, your HP. Surprise. So he can take a lot of damage, and Rokumonsen, not so much. He doesn't have like a fragile AC per se, but it's no tank, right? So you really gotta hope that Volta's nice to you, lets you get some good yo-yo hits in without you trading, because if you try to trade with Volta, you will simply just get blown up. He has the AP to trade hits all day, and Pride's just staying on the move because that's the really only advantage that this AC has over Cannon Head, because Cannon Head is pretty much just kind of glued to the ground, except for right now, apparently, because he just felt like defying me.
Yo-yo!
Yeah. You see when the yo-yo actually lands, it does hurt quite a bit. It's just that Volta has so much health for us to get through in the first place.
I also, fun fact, just took half of my health in damage in that combo that he hit me with. Ow.
He does have a Zimmerman. It is a pretty strong... the Zimmerman actually used to be stronger even than its current incarnation. They had to nerf it, just to put that out there.
Yeah, so the Zimmerman is this big chunky shotgun he has on his left arm, you can see right here. My build that I teased at the beginning, my endgame build, uses 2 of those things, and they have a 1 second long reload on them, and they hit like a truck. Dual Zims is pretty famous in the community, like the PvP community, for just being very centralizing for a long time. So I'm a little sad that we only get the 1 Zim, and especially on the 1 fight, or the 1 AC where, like, closing distance isn't that easy. But we're going to be fighting Pater now. So Pater, a member of Arquebus. So I haven't talked about Arquebus yet. We've seen a couple of them. They use largely a lot of energy weapons. So energy weapons aren't great at dealing stagger, but they do a lot of damage. He also has our first reverse joint legs that we're going to see. And those are going to give him a lot of mobility. So basically, with Cannon Head's weapons here, I'm going to be trying to manage my cooldowns so that I'm basically cycling all of my weapons. Again, most of these work best at close range, and Cannon Head, while is not exactly slow, is not great at closing the distance on Pater, who is very fast. So you're going to see me kind of trying to manage that quite a bit here. Thankfully, we do have the grace of just having a boatload of health to deal with. It's going to be pretty hard for Pater to chew through all of that. So Pater now is dropped to his terminal armor. You can see it's at 1 health, so I just have to hit him with any amount of damage, and he would die. So, thankfully, we didn't even drop to 50% there. Nice. We're going to be taking Pater's very fast build into a fight against... I don't remember right now. Pater
Sula.
into... Pardon?
It's Sula.
It's Sula. Oh, it's Sula. So, because I was like, it's not Carla. We're not at Carla yet. So, Sula is very interesting because I mentioned earlier that in the arena we have remember right, Materlink is a big sticking point for a lot of people. In the actual story, Sula comes at a point when you kind of have to rethink how you play the game. There are several walls in this game, I would say, is pretty fair to say. You have the first boss of the whole thing, where you have to fight it with the basic AC, and it's not easy. And then you have Sula, who is your first major like AC enemy, and he is pretty mobile, hits pretty hard, so you have to kind of rethink your whole thing. You have to either be able to out-tank him or like get away from his shots. So I spent many a while trying to get an AC build that would fight against Sula. But you'll see here, we aren't going to have too much trouble with him. Pater also has maybe the best melee weapon in the game, which this is probably going to be the last time we're going to see it, unfortunately, if I'm recalling correctly, which is the Pulse Sword. So the Pulse Sword would be lovely because being a pulse weapon, it chews through pulse shields very easily. And a lot of these pre-builts use shields. Like, a lot of enemies in this game use shields. And I'm convinced that the AI cheats with the shield, but whatever, we don't gotta talk about it. I'm not salty. I'm not salty. But that's Sula down. So Sula has again a lot of weapons that hit pretty hard, but are hard to hit with. So we're going to be fighting Chatty Stick next, and Chatty is another member of RAD, which means we're going to see a lot of missiles. Chatty is kind of a... how would you describe Chatty's build? He's kind of a weapons platform.
Yeah, he's zipping around and just... if you haven't seen your ACS bar yet in the game, Chatty is here to make sure you will.
Yeah, he has a ton of missiles. So this is probably going to be, I believe that the flashing light's warning on just because there's a lot of flares in this game. This is going to be one of those that has a lot of flares. But Chatty is going to try to hit us with the delivery boy first, probably. Oh, he hasn't even shot delivery boy. So delivery boy, I should say, is a revolving missile. So it's a large missile that shoots smaller missiles. And that's the ACS bar right there. So we're going to try to kind of stay on him. We don't want him to get away from us so that his missiles can, like, stay, you know, too close. He also, again, very quick. Like, he is on those tank legs that look like they're the wheelchair legs. So we want to kind of stick close to him, and he does not want to stick close to us. So we're going to hit him with that, hit him with the Javelin Alpha, and we should be able to kill him in, like, oh, just a moment. There we go. Managed to get him.
Alright.
Yeah, Chatty loves to waste your time. Very frankly. But we're going to be taking Chatty, and we're going to be going into our next fight. And in the meantime, while I'm getting that set up, if you have anything that you'd like to share with us, you have a moment.
I sure do. You have some more support coming in from chat here. $15 from Anonymous, who says, hey, buddy. And $25 from Heidi PhD, who says, son, stop blowing up. Lol. Love, mom.
So I get it. Thank you. The hey buddy reference. Yeah. So we'll talk about him a little bit later. There's a character who is much beloved in this game. Goes by the name of Rusty. And he is basically the only person in the story of this game who doesn't just use you and, like, leave you by the side of the road. And he calls you buddy, so his catchphrase is, hey buddy. And we love him so much. So this is Flatwell. Flatwell uses, he is a member of the RLF, and he uses one of my favorite AC builds in this whole game. Well, the AC cores. He uses the... My brain is blanking. Goodness, the Elcano core. And the Elcano, the Firmeza as it is called, is super lightweight but can still handle a good amount of, like, weight on it. So it moves like a lightweight AC, but also can hit like a truck if you put good weapons on them. So he is going to do his best to knock us out here, but the thing is that with our saturation attacks, we're going to be able to get him pretty handily there. He also uses an expansion slot, or not an expansion slot, an upgrade that you can get in the game that is one of my favorite things in this whole game. It is the weapons bay. So we've had our right-hand weapon, left-hand weapon, right shoulder weapon, left shoulder weapon, but you can use the weapons bay, and you can use 2 hand weapons instead of having a shoulder weapon, and you can hot swap between them. And I love that feature because it allows you to maybe on your left hand use a gun, and on your and then on your shoulder have loaded up a melee weapon to follow up on getting ACS strain. And that's kind of what we're going to see with Flatwell's build as we go into O'Keefe. He has that little gem launcher that I mentioned way back in the beginning. But it makes for a very good follow-up weapon while we have our 2 normal assault rifles on our shoulders here. And you can see that the Firmeza armor is just super fast. Like, we are zooming around. This is my comfort build, basically. It's so good. It feels really nice. We're going to see that later as well with Rusty's build, Steel Haze. Another just incredible build in this game, but I'm a speed demon in these games. I love moving fast, and usually that's just this gliding across the ground. So you see that we need pretty short work of O'Keefe, just because we could kind of just run circles around him. I kind of like the boosters that Flatwell has, so AC customization in this game, I should make as a preface. We have head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We have head, chest, arms, and legs. And then we also have engine, boosters, and your FCS chip, which is your lock-on. So it determines how quickly you lock on at different ranges and with different weapon types. So a lot of the like the missile slingers in this game are going to use the chips that allow them to lock on with missiles very quickly. But the boosters, they determine how like quickly you move with melee weapons, how far you boost whenever you do a quick dodge, like how quickly you move when you're assault boosting, which is, you're going to see it right here when we move straight forward. And like the mech customization in this game is frankly just an absolute treat in my opinion. It's so much fun to just like mess around with different builds. And we're going to see quite a bit here. So Carla, who we're fighting right now, the leader of the RAD faction, she is the missile build. She uses a couple of missile launchers, one of which will shoot delayed missiles out, so it's going to kind of just sit there in the air for a little bit and then chase us around, as you can see here. And then she also has the soups on the shoulders, which just shoot out a ton of missiles. The thing about her build... whoa! Okay. We're gonna panic hit the shield button. The problem with her build that we're gonna see in this upcoming fight against Cold Fall's Dead Sled is that it is very hard... Also, she hacks the simulator. It's very hard to time when your enemy's going to go into ACS strain and to capitalize on that with these missile launchers because of the delays on them. So I'm going to try a cheeky strat real quick, and if that doesn't work, we're going to fall back on just shooting a ton of missiles. So you've seen the explosion, as I showed, where she just got me pretty good with it right there near the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost directly at Cold Call, and I am going to try to just hit him in the face with an explosion, and then hit him with all my missiles. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it works. But in the meantime, if you have anything that you would like to say while I am going to lock in for this, feel free.
Sure thing. I just want to quickly mention for everyone joining here who might be new or otherwise, this event is being presented by the team at Fast Paced Events. Founded in January 2022, their mission is to promote mental health and LGBTQ+ awareness through speedrunning, and to raise money for mental health and LGBTQ+ charities by beating games at a fast pace. You can find more information about the team by checking out fastpacedevents.com. So thank you so much for supporting us, supporting the marathon, and supporting global action for trans equality. Exclamation point donate if you want to support their amazing work, support the team here behind this marathon, and maybe put in some more donations towards that AC6 incentive at the end of this. We're getting close to the time, folks. We're only just under 20 minutes left. So if you want to see that happen, now is the time to donate.
You would love to see it. If we actually hit each other, I actually will be a little bit surprised. The AC in question is that bad, especially
I might
with
be
two
planning
players.
to just use kicks.
I figured you would be.
Oh my gosh. So remember when I said that the enemy AI can just decide to bring it? Cold Call is bringing it right now. Never mind, I got him. We're actually super good. Ignore how low my health is in the bottom
Never
right,
didn't have
bottom
it.
left corner. Never didn't have it. Never didn't believe.
Well done.
A fun Easter egg that I love about this game is that anytime that you use an expansion slot, your AC has to hit a cooldown mode. It like physically cools down after you use those big attacks. So your AC pops out a radiator somewhere, and spotting all of the different kinds of radiators and all of the the torso pieces is a lot of fun to me. Like, some of them are really cool. But Cold Call, we are going to be fighting Rusty. Here's our boy. Ideally, he will miss. So Rusty pilots Steel Haze, which, like I mentioned earlier, my kind of build. It is fast as heck, it deals a good amount of damage. He has a weapon bayed assault rifle on his left shoulder, and the laser slicer, which is the most anime weapon in this whole darn game. Basically, he's going to try to hit us with that melee weapon, and we're going to try to deny him from doing that. We're going to see if he is up for it. He's also very vulnerable to getting blasted. So are we, apparently. There's the laser slicer. So we have our laser shotgun on our left arm and the laser rifle on our right. So we're just going to hit him with a bunch of laser weapons, and we're just going to see where the chips lie. Yeah, he's not lasting much longer. So Steel Haze, if you can be faster than it and lock it down, it kind of crumbles, as you saw there. Again, Rusty can just decide to bring it at any time and completely demolish us, but by nature of having these reverse-jointed legs, Dead Sled is also pretty fast. So we're going to see the opposite of that in a second here, whenever we take Rusty's Steel Haze into a fight against Milktooth, maybe the grossest name of an AC in this whole thing. Honest Brute, he is a member of the RAD faction who left. He's an abandoner of their faction, so he uses the chainsaw that we saw earlier. He uses a Morley, which is a spread bazooka on his right shoulder, and he uses a flamethrower. So basically, we just don't want to stick close to him. So I'm going to focus up for this one as well. If there's anything that either of you would like to say.
I'll give a quick update. In addition to the AC6 incentive that we've been gunning for today, we also have that Resident Evil 2 Bid War still open right now. Claire has taken first place with $20, and Leon is in second place with 10. But that can change with just $10. If you want to donate, you can put it both towards the Bid War and the current AC6 incentive for again, let me remind you, a PvP match against Pumpkin and Pride at the end of this. So you can put it towards both at the same time. Both choose either Leon or Claire and put it towards the AC6 incentive. So
yeah, and we don't have a ton of time
to
left on that because we are in our last 10 fights here. So you saw me miss with the laser slicer earlier. This time, I won't miss. It is, again, very anime, Darth Maul. You know what? We're gonna actually just get him with that. Get a nice little screenshot in there. Hold on, let me just, selfie time.
This concludes B rank evaluation.
I don't know if you could hear the
we can see the notification on screen.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fight can go sideways pretty easily, because the flamethrower is, you would think, a terrible weapon because you're in a robot. Yeah, no, actually it's very good.
It's very powerful. So there's two status effects that you can inflict on enemies in this game. There is the fire status effect, which has a name that is escaping me at the moment. I think it's ACS Anomaly, which basically just increases the amount of time that, or it increases the amount of stagger that you take. And then there is Lightning, which we are going to see in a little bit. There is, I also don't remember what it's called, but it's basically, if you've ever played Dark Souls, it's Bleed. They put Bleed in this game, and it's not great because not a lot of things can do it, but the things that can do it very well. But this is Deep Down. So Deep Down is another like missiles platform kind of AC. Oh my gosh. And unfortunately, I can't really see what he's doing whenever I'm using the flamethrower. So we're just going to kind of hit him with the flamethrower. And we're going to try to catch him in the corner with the Morley here. Oh my goodness. Speaking of NPCs deciding to bring it.
He ate his Wheaties today.
Yeah, we're just going to hit him with that. And then we're going to hit him with the... There we go. So the chainsaw does the most direct damage in the game, which means that if you hit somebody whenever they... he was trying to use the shield. If you hit somebody whenever they're in ACS stagger, the chainsaw does a boatload of damage. It is pretty severe. Love that radiator design as well.
I mean, you would also take a lot of damage if somebody slapped you with a chainsaw while you were stunned.
You know what? That's a fair point and well made. So, we are going to take over. Oh my, I scrolled the wrong. Hello? Did I click in my mouse button? I don't know. We're going to take Deep Down, which again, this has a linear rifle and a lot of missiles, and we're going to be fighting against Snail. Shout out to Mechanical Snail. Whenever I was practicing this game, and I started swearing at Snail because he can be a real jerk, one of our friends thought that I was swearing at another one of our friends. I was like, no, don't worry. Don't worry. He's just awful. So, Snail is the only other build in this whole game that makes use of the bleed status effect, essentially. So he has a dart gun on his right hand that he's going to hit us with, and he has a giant stun missile launcher on his left shoulder, that or his right shoulder, that we're going to try to avoid at all costs, because it does a ton of damage and is the preferred weapon of choice of the speedrun.
Stun Needle, my beloved.
In the meantime, Stun Needle is so good. We're just going to try to avoid his Stun Needle. His like little launcher on the side, actually, we don't super care about, but he hasn't pulled it out yet, which is making me nervous. There we go. He has the Laser Lance, which is one of my favorite melee weapons in this whole game. It's literally a lance that does a huge dash attack, but it's a laser lance. It's so over the top and cool. But it comes out super fast, so I'm worried that he hasn't really like poked us with it. No, he just decided to be nice today. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I've never had a fight with him where he just did not use the lance every single time it was off cooldown. You are...
Yeah, he really likes to spam it.
Well done.
Like, he loves that lance. This was unusual. Lucky. Oh, it's fine. It can't go downhill from here.
Yeah, I can't go downhill. So, speaking of going downhill, so we are about to fight Chartreuse. Chartreuse is one of 3 members of Branch. Yeah, Branch is the name of the organization. They are independent mercenaries who actually know what they're doing. So Chartreuse has a tank build. On her right side, she has a bunch of very heavy-hitting laser weapons. On her left side, she has a bunch of very heavy-hitting bazooka and missile launcher weapons. So, we don't want to get hit by any of that. We especially don't want to get staggered by the lasers and then hit by the missile launchers. So, Snail, fun fact, not that fast. So we're going to try to close the distance a little bit and get her maybe with a cheeky hit on the laser lance every now and again. But we are really going to want to get big hits with that stun needle. That's going to be our biggest goal here. I'm going to laser lance her. I can't even see anything, but we got her. Yeah, and she recovered way too quickly. There we go, and we're going to hit her with the stun needle. Boom. You can see that the bleed is actually contributing quite a bit because we just do not let up with this needle launcher on our right hand. Oh my gosh. So we're going to roll right up and we're going to hit her with the explosion, and hopefully that's going to... Oh, come on. Please, no. This is a bad idea. Oh, I killed her with the poke!
Alright.
Yeah, this fight can be very, very scary. Chartreuse hits like an absolute freight train.
Well done.
I committed to it, and I saw my death approaching, and I got her. Okay. Okay, that's kind of our last big hurdle of the run. So from here, we have, I believe, only 4 fights left. So get your donations in now if you want to meet that incentive, because it's going to be a great time, and we don't have much time left. But we're going to load up Umber Ox, and we're going to be fighting Thumbdol Mayan in Ashtik. Again, he uses the weapon bays to great effect. He also, I forgot, he also has the Pulse Sword. He has, you can see, a very similar build to UAU, but this guy actually has good gear. So it's kind of a little terrifying. So we are going, I'm going to kind of lock in a little bit for these next couple of fights if you have anything that you would like to add.
Let's see, I just want to welcome in all the raiders, because we've got another raid, and welcome on in, everyone.
My goodness.
Yeah, you are watching Fast Pace for Pride 2025, raising money for GATES, Global Action for Trans Equality, a global trans-led advocacy organization dedicated to advancing gender equality for all. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see the rest of the schedule for this marathon, !schedule in the chat, and !donate if you want to donate money towards this great cause.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, so we have beaten Thumbdle Mayan. This tank, by the way, people call it the boat. It's meant to be like a hover tank. It's pretty neat.
It's so silly looking, in my
It's
opinion.
really dumb.
It's so goofy.
It's so goofy, but I love it so much. So we are going to take Thumbdle Mayan's build, and we are going to use it against King. King? Pride?
Oh my gosh.
Second floor basement.
Card keys.
But King has a build called Aster Crown. Aster Crown is very neat. So this is another, I believe another tetrapod, but he has a huge battery of lasers on his right shoulder, and he has a shield. So most shields in this game have a small window of time where they are like really effective, and then they lose their effectiveness the longer that they are out. King's shield actually is called the Pulse Sputum, and the Pulse Sputum actually has a longer period where it is not usable. It's a lot less useful at certain times, which is very fascinating. So he's going to want to turtle, and he's not turtling. Oh my gosh, but he is killing us. Whoops. So
Yeah,
these last fights, as you can tell, they have some pretty good builds.
The triple laser shot is not necessarily a very top-tier weapon, but if it does actually hit you, as you can imagine, 3 charged laser shots, if 1 charged laser shot hurts a lot, 3 of them hurts 3 times as much. Quite literally, because I think you had 3,000 AP there until we got the shot off with it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
But yeah, his shield is the complete inverse of most of the shields in that it is meant for being a tank. I mean, he is not literally using a tank, but you know, whatever. But it's meant for just taking the hits, just holding it up. Except this time, which he didn't really decide to use it very much. He probably should have.
He should have. So the fun part about shields is that while your shield is out, you cannot use the weapon in your left hand, and you cannot dodge, or else it puts the shield away. So, especially whenever you have a shield that you want to keep out for a long time, kind of becomes a thing that he doesn't really want to use that. So, we're going to see that a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of shields. Something shields and gender passivity. I'm a very aggro player in this, especially because this is a speedrun. Fun fact. We are trying to deplete our enemy's health as fast as possible. So, shields don't really help us out in doing that a lot. You saw me use it with like UAU, with parrying the blast from the earshot, but we're probably not going to make too big a use of the shield here. But meanwhile, we are fighting against Michigan. Michigan is one of my favorite characters in this game. There is a mission where, spoiler alert, you have to kill him. And it's just so good on so many levels. You fight a ton of his like minions. He's the leader of the Red Guns faction. You fight a ton of minions before you fight him, and he has dialogue through the whole thing, which it kind of gets old whenever you are. I'm going to use the shield here. Kind of gets old whenever. Sorry about that. Trying to do commentary and fight at the same time is very easy, as you can tell. But he like knows the name of every single person under his command, and he berates them all. But it's like very clear that he cares about it. It's great. But we're gonna hopefully make mean old Michigan die from a bad fall here. I'm gonna actually
Nice throwback.
try to hit him with the blast. Oh my goodness. He did not want to enter ACS there. There we go. Michigan also has, like, a decent amount of health, is kind of the funny part. Jumped away because I forgot that he uses the shield. So this is the dome. Michigan has a Gatling gun, which can do a lot of damage if he just, like, sits there and shoots at us like that, for instance. So we're going to try to not let him do that. For instance.
Like that.
Such as that.
Yeah, he is using the Balaam tetrapod, which is has a lot more AP than other tetrapod parts. It's meant to be like the heavy tetrapod, so he can take quite a hit.
Yeah. But this brings us into our last fight. So if you want to see that duel, you want to see me and Pumpkin duke it out with the worst AC in the game, get your donations in right now, because we are headed into our last fight. We're going to take Ligertail. An awesome name, frankly. And we're going to be fighting V1 Freud in the Locksmith AC. So Freud is the leader of the Vespers, but he doesn't really align with Arquebus very much, because his whole thing is that he just loves fighting. So we're going to give him a fight. He's kind of a like jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none build, funny enough. But he does have that very dangerous laser sword, so we are going to try to lock him down pretty quick here. I'm going to hit him with the dome immediately, and then we're going to just kind of camp. It's a little lame, but it wins battles. We also have the most interesting melee weapon in the game to me, the Explosion Thrower. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It throws explosions. I don't know what to tell you. Oh boy. Hit him with explosions.
The Mine Thrower can be charged, and interestingly, it kind of does the opposite in a way of what most melees do when they're charged. You actually throw it vertically instead of doing like a wider arc. So it's more of a, do you want a horizontal swing or a vertical swing?
We are approaching time here, by the way. And time. That's it.
Alright, GG.
Right. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. I hesitate to look at the time because I died a lot. I died way more than normal. They were really mean. But I was really glad that the UAU fight went well. So that is going to be all. Yeah, concludes all evaluations. There is an extension of this where we take the arena that's pretty exclusive to New Game Plus, and we take Freud's AC into it. But that is a different run for a different time, my friends. In the meantime, I guess shoutouts. First of all, I'd like to thank the Academy. I would like to thank Fast Pace Events for having me on here. I'd like to thank everybody who's supported me in my speedrunning journey so far. I'd like to thank the AC community for noticing when this got on GDQ. By the way, this is going to be on GDQ, so if you'd like to see this a little different, little more or less put together, we'll see on the day. Be sure to check that out. It's going to be Wednesday at around 2 p.m. Central. But I think that's going to be about it from me. Pumpkin, do you have any shoutouts that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'd like to give shoutouts to TheKingsPride, I think.
TheKingsPride, yes.
TheKingsPride for doing this run and having me on. Man, that's really it from me. You'll see me again later. Sorry.
Yep, you'll see me again as well, because I'm going to be hosting later today, so I will see you all then. But in the meantime, you can take it on away.
Thank you so much, folks in chat. Give it up one more time for the King's Pride and Pumpkin Spice for this run of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Thank you so much. That was some amazing mech fighting arena action. I loved watching that, and I hope to see you two later on in this marathon, like you say. So thank you again. With that, we're going to move into a quick break here while we get